Okay, so I'm going to introduce, I've just said what this sign is, vocab, just a second ago, and this is word. So if this is the line of text, but we got a word or vocab, basically referring to the same thing. So when they're talking about unscrambling, a very middle school assignment that we probably won't run into, what they're going to do is literally tell you what to do. So if you've got words that are all messed up, you have to move them around and then put them first, second, third, or first, second, third. And you only need 3 examples: lions and tigers, bears, right? It's all the other animal. So first, second, third. Sequence. So what we just did in unscramble, we've got them scrambled. Now you have to, or second, third. So you see how those two work together? Oh, here. Why do I always do that? Similar to which and maybe, compare, this one or this one, this one. Color. We haven't learned colors yet. We will. And another way you could look at it is darken it in. So for these next two, we're going to use that facial expression of like either or it's nothing really organized. It's just scribble, just write, just fill in the blank. So now, again, we're going to be building some signs. So you've got a line of text given you. There's a blank. We've used this for inside feelings, something that's revealing the inside. You're going to draw this is blank. We've used, I don't know if I showed this for forget. Forget, we've done wipe. You can also do it completely, my mind completely drew a blank, something like that. Oh. This sign is used for emptiness, like there's not a cover on it. There's a blank. So there's a line, there's a blank, write in it. Makes sense? So multiple choice. And I will recommend doing 4 because it's organized. Multiple choice tends to be an organized thing. 5 tends to be the handshake for chaos. That will, I guess that will be more clear later on. But for right now, do it with 4. So many, boom, 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 or many, boom, boom, boom. Choice, 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 choice. Now we get into circle. You take the pen or pencil, whatever you're holding, and draw a circle around it. A little bit later, we're going to talk about how if we're referring to a shape like a circle, we're going to draw it differently and for different reasons. But this is just an action. Maybe the letter. We use this for letter or this. Either hand really works. So letter. Some people do letter, but that really refers to a postal envelope letter, stamp. So letter, circle. Number, circle. Right answer, circle. Okay? Pause this for just a second. So circle. Match. There are 2 different ways. You could do match, like this, boom. That's the clearest way. Point to something, and match. And it's also the sign for roommate. So anytime 2 things are put together, so this and this, underline. Again, we use that word, boom, and then you're going to take your pinky finger and draw a thin line under it. Boom. So the right word, draw a line under it. Right word, circle it. Or draw a line through it. So word, boom, boom. Word. I'm going to say wrong. There's nothing else. It just says strike off. So just draw a line through it, right? So again, you're using that as if you're holding a pen. And you could put a big X in it. Same basic idea, but this is talking specifically of putting a line through it. So now we're talking about circle. And there's a snapshot of that. But I do want to talk about why we do this. If we're going to draw something in the air to do a shape, it can be pretty complex. If we're drawing a stop sign, right, all those sides, we need to know if we're going to put a word in the middle, we need a reference point. So we draw the shape, and then we know that just up above, in the middle, since this is the bottom of the shape, S-T-O-P, right? It's a little different than if we're just like, oh, circle it. It seems like they're making a big deal of something that's pretty easy. The shapes become more important later on if we're describing how, say, artwork looks or a wall looks and what things are on the wall. Signs, stuff like that. So it is a kind of important concept. If you're just doing this, is draw a circle around it, circle it, whatever. This is, you put a reference point in for a circle, and then you draw the circle. Or boom. Most often we do it up above, or either direction works. All right. Now, manipulating the signs, oftentimes it's called agreement verbs or directional, because it's going to involve different people in it or different directions. If I'm saying to get out a piece of paper, object, subject, verb, paper, you reach under, pull it out, or wherever you're getting it from. Most often I'll say, so probably under your seat, bringing it out. Book, bring out. You could take it down from the next slide. The next slide. I will never tell you to rip out a page from the book. But paper, like tear out a page. Basically, you're just miming what you want someone to do. Putting away, putting back, putting down, putting up, whatever, you just grab whatever it is. Imagine you're grabbing it and you put it where you want it. Boom, boom. Put it under something. You could put it under. You could put it on top of. You could put it next to something. You could put it behind something. So you're literally just doing the action. And if you need to make reference to something, you can put it behind, put it on top of, put it under, however you need to. You could put it inside. Lift, we've already seen that in a past one. Lift, you can carry, and then give, like we did. Sorry, we're having extreme weather alerts. Tornado alert. That's not good. Okay, carry, give. So give, and you're going to go in the direction. I'm going to give it to you. You're going to give it to someone else. That other person's going to give it to me. That other person's going to give it to you. Whichever direction you need to do, you can set that up. Enter. Same as birth, right? Birthday. Enter. Turn on. You can flip a switch. It's a little less clear. Most of the time people do turn on. and then turned off. Tornado sirens. Walk. Walk. I'm going to try to finish this really quickly. Run. Run or run. I'm going to stop this here. Okay, we had a tornado warning. So I left off. I was about to go to break. Now there's a snapshot for break that you can look at, and it will explain a bunch of different ones. I'm going to flip over to my list of them so I can. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. So conceptually, there are different signs for break. We sign this for break anytime we see the English word break. But really, it makes more sense to sign vacation for spring break, or spring break. Okay, vacation, tuck your thumbs under your armpits and kick back. If you're broke and you have no money, you can do it with one side or both sides. The official sign is, both sides. Oh, I'm broke. I ain't got no money. Spring break. If your car breaks down, it doesn't actually break. And the way they word it in the text is kind of weird. Like, you don't literally break your car in half, but something might have broken inside. But if this is the motor, it collapses. It falls apart. So that's what we use for breakdown. Break as in an intermission or class break. If this is the 4 quarters of the class, time-wise, we put a break in the middle. We do it for intermission for like a play or a show. Take a break. We'll use this for, take a break, go get a drink or something like that. Break. So we're splitting it in half. And then the last one they talk about is breakup. There are a few different signs for that. If you join the 2 F hand shapes, that is to be joined. Hold on. Everybody's going, tornado warning. I'm like, we're in the same room together. Anyway, so break up with someone. This means relationship. Join together. It's a chain, right? Two people are joined. You can break up. You can break up. So here's 2 people. They were together and now they've leapt apart. And one that's similar to that is you'll oftentimes see this for divorce. Yeah, it's assigned English with D's, but it comes from this basic idea of, they broke up. They broke up. Okay. So let me jump back to here. So that was break, and there's a few different options for that. So practice each one of those, come up with a sentence for each one. As I say, with all these vocab, it's always good to practice with a couple of sentences. And now that we know positive statements, negative statements, WH questions, and yes, no questions, it's really good if you spend the time to create a sentence for vocab using each of those. All right. Especially because we can't do it all the time in class. Buy. You're taking money. Money, this is a sign for money. You're giving it, and then you're going to get something back. So buy. Buy. Shopping. This is the sign for store or sell. So you can go shopping, which literally means I'm going store to store to store. Or you can go shopping. I went out and bought a bunch of stuff. Eat and drink. If you're talking about alcohol, you can do this for binging, whatever. But drink, just for the general sign. Gossip. 2 G's. It's little bird beaks. Pick a little, talk a little. If you know the music band, pick. So gossip. And talk. You can do talk, discuss, talk. There are lots of signs for chatting. They seem to be all over the place with regional. You'll see them do this in the videos for signing away, having a signing conversation. Now go back. I have a bit of an issue with this one. Go back. Come here, go back. Go there, come back. There's a lexicalized version of this where we fingerspell. And we're literally spelling B-A-C-K, B-A-C-K, and finding a really smooth way back, B-A-C-K, back, back. And now we're still at the point where we're sorting out like B-A-C-K. Completely understand that. You will see people do back, back, or back, almost like it's C-K. It literally is the sign for going in a direction matched with the finger spelled B-A-C-K. It's really complicated, and I think it's really foolhardy to try to get you to do it. But it's probably in the quizzes. So if you see it ending in a K, it's probably back. Back. Giving back. A little bit. Right. Pay me back $2. Throw away. This is the sign for throw. Just throw it, whatever. Specifically, if you're throwing something in the garbage or jettisoning it, boom. People do poo, throw, like you throw it, or boo. Most of the time I've seen it, just throw it away. Mail, junk mail, throw it away. You can also do OSV, where you do, here's one sign for garbage, throw it away. Oops, handshake. Oh, garbage. It's also the sign for cabbage. I think there's a lot of people who think that it came from a bad lip reading or bad misreading of it. This is also a sign for garbage, like trash bag, and I don't know why. Maybe because, when you wear out the elbows of a shirt, you throw it away. I don't know. Leave. 3 different versions for this. You can go. You can leave. So if you imagine, here's a person standing here, and as they recede into the distance, they get smaller. Leave. Also sign for go out. Leave the room. You can leave. Similar idea, where someone's this high and they get smaller as they go. Can be also a lot of people leaving. One other one is like take a hike. I'm out of here. This tends to be a much more, I don't want to say violent, but much more boom, gone, God. Like no time is wasted. Out. And then turn off. You'll see people turn it off. You can also do like OFF. Off. Off, 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 off. Don't say cell phones, off, 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 off. And then we get to noun-verb pairs. And we've talked about in class that a noun is a double movement usually. That's the best way to set it up. Boom, boom. Could be a triple movement. Verb is the action. It tends to be one movement reflecting that action. So sit down, boom, or sit out, quick, boom, right? They do other ones. Let me see if we've got them all. There's a practice where you just watch the movement. You're not going to know the signs. Just watch the movement and see if it's a noun or a verb. And that's all you have to do with that one. And why is there a no voicing English mouthing policy in class? I understand why they want it, but if you notice, with each successive class, we've been able to go longer and longer with no talking. And we're a bit ahead of other classes. And there's a reason for that, is because I'm building on your knowledge of English already. So we can draw comparisons, and we're getting really close. Now, that said, almost every class is a little bit weaker on finger spelling than I think you should be. So you should be putting in a bit more time there on the finger spelling, because those are important. And be going over vocab. Those are going to be very significant, because we never slow down. We don't go back. We just keep adding more. And then there are activities we can do in class. And then a review. I would put in a vocab list here, but there are so many words that I'm just going to include a separate vocab list. And then look at the other supplemental stuff that I find and put up there. All right, well, that is 2.3.